Good morning to everyone. I am Dr. K. Vijay Kumar, Associate Professor, Public Administration, Government City College, Hyderabad. Today we are discussing the topic Bureaucracy by Max Weber. In this topic, these are the main headings, that is objectives, introduction, life and work, concept of authority, elements of authority, types of authority. In types of authority, there are three types. One is traditional authority, then charismatic authority, and legal and rational authority. Then bureaucracy, Weberian perspective. Then conclusion. In objectives, contribution of Weber to the concept of bureaucracy. The contribution of Weber to the concept of bureaucracy. Then difference between the various forms of authority. Then understand the basic principles of bureaucracy. Max Weber's ideas of bureaucracy. This is the main objective of the bureaucracy. It is contribution of Weber's to the concept of bureaucracy, difference between the various forms of authority, understanding the basic principles of bureaucracy, then evolve a critical perspective. Then introduction and life and work. Max Weber was born in Western Germany in 1864. He expired in 1920. He studied law and economics. He wrote number of papers on law and social, political and economic factors of his time. His major writings, The Theory of Economic and Social Organization. The next one is General Economic Theory. Then another one is Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism in 1904. Max Weber was born in 1864 in the Western Germany. He studied law and joined the Berlin University as an instructor in law. He remained an academic for the rest of his life. He wrote number of papers on law, society, and political and economic factors prevalent in that time. His contribution to the theory of bureaucracy is a significant one. In the study of administrative theories, Max Weber's bureaucracy depicting the structure of the administrative system provides an influential conceptual framework. Conceptual framework, a close historical understanding. Max Weber has become a central figure of both an intellectual understanding and a controversy during more than 100 years of evolution of administrative sciences. As a most of the thinkers either only attempted to contradict him or formulated theories based on his model. This makes him popular among the students of the sociology, political science, and as well as public administration also. Max Weber has formulated the concept of bureaucracy in the context of his thorough discussion on the basis of legitimacy authority. Before going into the details of the basis of legitimacy authority, an attempt is made here to highlight Weber's ideas on authority, power, and control as he distinguished them from one another. Weber believes that human behavior is regularly oriented to a set of rules. These rules also form one of the bases of organizational behavior, as it is conveniently identifies the specific behavioral pattern. Weber termed the rules of an organization as administrative orders, or in its strict sense as administration itself. Weber says here in this context that administration and authority are closely interrelated. Every form of authority expresses itself and functions and administration. Every form of administration in some way requires authority, since its direction demands that some sort of power to command is vested in someone. On the whole, in the Weberian concept of organization, each member is in the position of either giving or receiving orders significantly. The leadership pattern also emerges out of this concepts of the basis of organization. Drawing the clues from historical understandings, Weber also estimates the impact of several social factors such as religion in molding the pattern of leadership in different organizations. Further elaborating, in Weber says that it signifies an ordering of social relationship, the maintenance of which certain individuals took as their special task. The presence of a leader and usually also administrative staff was the defining characteristics of an organization. He also finds the origin and emergence of governments, emergence of organization in the context of power, authority, domination, and control. Significantly, significant, significantly, in a discussion on bureaucracy, again, all these concepts occupy a prominent place. Also, he wrote a number of papers on the law and social, political, and economical factors at his time. The major writings are the theory of economic and social organization, general economic theory, and Protestant ethics and spirit of capitalism. It was published in 1904. Weber always preferred knowledge obtained through practical experience than library research. He mostly preferred the practical experience, not the library research. Generally depend on the practical experience. He preferred. His contribution theory of bureaucracy is a significant one. It is a significant one in the history of evolution of administration. He was basically a sociologist. Max Weber, he was basically a sociologist. He formulated the concept of bureaucracy in the context of his thorough discussion on the basis of legitimacy authority. He believes that human behavior is regularly oriented a set of rules. He strongly believing in that. That is, human behavior is regularly oriented a set of rules. He also finds origin and emergence of organization in the context of power, authority, domination, and control. These are his work and contribution to the theory or approach of bureaucracy. Then the concept of authority, organization, and legitimacy. Weber emphasizes that there may be many kinds of leadership, but those who possess leadership need not necessarily possess the power and authority. This may also depend on the factors that influence the social relationship of human groups. In this context, Weber differentiates between power and authority. He observes that a person could be said to possess power if in a social relationship his will would be enforced despite resistance. Weber defined power as the probability that one actor within a social relationship will be in a position to carry out his own will despite resistance. It manifests itself when a command of defined content elicit obedience on the part of specific individuals. In contrast, authority is a state of reality where a person willingly complies with legitimate commands or orders because he considers that a person by virtue of his position could issue directive to him. Thus authority is the probability that a command with a given specific content will be obeyed by a given group of persons. Unlike in power, this is willing obedience on the part of clientele to legitimize authority. Among Weber work on administration, his theory on domination, leadership, and legitimacy merit specially mentioned. Weber differentiated authority, power, and control. Power. Power means to him, according to him, a person could be said to possess power if in a social relationship his will could be enforced despite resistance. According to him, authority manifests when a command of definite content obedience on the part of specific individual. In power, there is no willing and obedience. Then, elements of authority. An individual or a body of individuals who rules. That is one element of authority. An individual or a body of individuals who rules. Then another one is an individual or a body of individuals who are ruled. An individual or a body of individuals who are ruled. Then next one is the will of rules to influence the conduct of the ruled, and an expression of that will be command. The evidence of influence of rules in terms of the objective degree of command. Then direct or indirect evidence of that influence in the terms of subjective acceptance with the ruled obey the command. Then an authority exists as long as it is accepted legitimate by the rules. Weber concluded that all administration means domination. Thus, in authority, we may find the rulers, those who give orders. Rulers means those who give orders. The ruled, those who receive orders. The will of the rulers, and the acceptance. This would explain that authority is primarily based on the premises of its acceptance, which may provide legitimacy to the very authority itself. An organization thus can rule or administer when it has legitimacy. different forms of belief in the legitimacy of authority were associated different structures of authority and hence organizational forms. These are the elements of the authority. Authority, we may find the rulers, those who give orders, the ruled, those who receive orders. The will of rulers, the acceptance. Then people in organization. Weber categorized persons in the organization into 4 types. Those who are accustomed to obey commands. Then those who are personally interested in seeing the existence domination continue. Then those who participate in that domination. Those who hold themselves in the readiness for the exercise of functions. Weber categorized persons in the organization into 4 types. The first one is those who are accustomed to obey commands. Then second one, those who are personally interested in seeing the existence domination continue. Then third one is those who participate in that domination. Then next one is those who holds themselves in readiness for the exercise of functions. Then types of authority. Max Weber classified authority into 3 types on the basis of its claim to legitimacy. These 3 types of authorities are: one is traditional authority, the second one is charismatic authority, the third one is legal rational authority. The first one is traditional authority. Traditional authority rests on a established belief in the sanctity of immemorial traditions and the legitimacy of the status of those exercising authority under them. In this kind of system, the command might be obeyed because of reverence for old established pattern of order, customs, traditions, conventions, beliefs, etc. This is a pure type of feudal patrimonial regime under which the organization consists of household officials, relatives, favorites, henchmen, and loyal retainers. This may also present an unstructured form. with superior subordinate relations, dominating behavior, while there is an absence of any rationally set norms of behavior. This system retains its legitimacy as the customs, traditions, etc. are respected in the organization. This is a traditional authority. It is nothing but a feudal. It was existed in the feudal system. Then charismatic authority. Charismatic authority rests on the popular belief structure in which the latter survives on the devotion of his followers. The obedience in this case was justified because the person giving the order had some sacred or altogether outstanding characteristic. The leader may be a prophet, a hero, or claims legitimacy by virtue of his magical power or heroism or other extraordinary qualities rather than formal stipulations on prescribed norms or the dignity of one's position. In this system, no specified procedure govern the behavioral pattern of the administration. Max Weber explains, in contrast to any kind of bureaucratic organization of offices, the charismatic structure knows nothing of a prom or an ordered procedure of appointment or dismissal. It knows no regulated and expert training of the holder of charisma or of his aides. It knows no agency of control or appeal, no local bailiwicks or exclusive functional jurisdiction, nor does it embrace permanent institutions like our bureaucratic department, which are independent of persons and of purely personal charisma. Since the charismatic leader chooses disciplines on the basis of their loyalty instead of their qualification and abilities, the followers also continue to be loyal as long as the leader retains his charisma. Any change in the pattern may cause the breakdown of the system. This is the charismatic system. Then legal rational authority. Legal rational authority, which Max Weber calls legal rational authority, rests on a belief in the legality of patterns, of normative rules, and rights of those elevated to authority under such rules to issue command. Under this system, men might believe that a person giving orders was acting in accordance with his duties as stipulated a code of legal rules and regulations. The persons who receive orders obey only the law and not the person in a superior position who gives orders. The receivers are obliged to obey the orders givers only in so far as they are acting in accordance with duly enacted laws. Thus, the whole system of organization, including all those who occupy various positions from top to bottom, are also subjected to same principles that govern the organizational behavior. In conformity with the above, Weber explains the 5 related beliefs on which legal authority depends. Legal rational authority. Weber explains 5 related beliefs on legal rational authority. That a legal code can be established, this can claim obedience from members of the organization. Then, that the law is a system of abstract rules which are applied to particular cases, and that administrative looks after the interest of the organization within the limits of law. That the man exercising authority also obey this impersonal order. That only the persons as a members of the organization obeys the law. That obedience is due to not the person who holds authority, but to the impersonal order which has granted him this position. He states that these forms, though they existed independently under various regimes, are also found in the combination at times. Weber prepared the legal rational type of authority which characterized the modern organization. Weber designed the model of bureaucratic organization based on this legal rational concept of authority. Then bureaucracy, Weberian perspective. Max Weber never defined bureaucracy as a pure type of organization, but explained in both in general and with a specific reference to certain governmental organization. It was Mr. de Gournay, French economist, who used the word bureaucracy for the first time in 18th century. Weber was the first social scientist who made a systematic study of bureaucracy and its characteristics. The Weberian model of bureaucracy is a source of inspiration to many because it largely reflects on the spirit of the modern bureaucracy. Weber never defined the bureaucracy, he only described its characteristics. He had described its characteristics in detail. Weber states that bureaucracy is an administrative body of appointed officials. Weber states that bureaucracy is an administrative body of appointed officials. While distinguishing the term, he explains that no exercise of authority can be purely bureaucratic unless it is done purely through the contractually engaged and appointed officials. The bureaucracy in its most rational form has the following fundamental characteristics. Then here the main features of bureaucracy. These are: officials' tasks are organized in continuous and regulated basis. Official tasks are organized on continuous and regulated basis. Then these tasks are divided into functionally distinct spheres. Then offices are arranged hierarchically, one by one. Different offices, different in the same office, different sections, etc. Offices are arranged hierarchically. Then the rules according to technical or legal In both cases, trained persons are necessary. There are rules according to the technical or legal. In both cases, trained persons are necessary. Then administration is conducted based on the written documents. Administration is conducted based on the written documents. It is nothing but rules and regulations. They are following the rules and regulations. It is nothing but written documents. Administration is conducted based on the written documents, etc. Then, characteristics of bureaucracy. The staff members are personally free, observing only the personal duties of their offices. There is a clear hierarchy of officials. Officials are appointed on the basis of contract. They are selected on the basis of professional qualification. Their work is rewarded a regular salary. The official post is solo and major occupation. He is subject to a certified control and disciplinary system. These are the main important characteristics of the bureaucracy. The above characteristics Weber's ideal but popular, pure and most rational type of bureaucracy. Weber considered rational bureaucracy as a major element in the rationalization of the modern world. For him, it is most important of all social process. Martin Albro pointed out in this context that, among other things, this process involved growing recession and explicitness in the principles governing social organizations. Further, he states that it has a series of characteristics: precision, continuity, discipline, strictness, reliability, which make it technically the most satisfactory form of organization. Weber maintains that the fully developed bureaucratic mechanism compares with other organization exactly as does the machine with the non-mechanical modes of production. Precision, discretion, unity, strict subordination, reduction of friction and of material and personal costs, these are raised to the optimum point. In the strictly bureaucratic administration, Weber himself states, while substantiating the point, that the development of modern organization from in all spheres like state, church, army, party, the economic interest groups, voluntary associations, charitable bodies, or whatever, is simply identical with the development and continuous increase of bureaucratic administration. It is said that Weber believed bureaucracy to be the most efficient form of administrative organization. He believed that bureaucracy is the bureaucracy to be the most efficient form of administrative organization because experts with experience are best qualified to make technically correct decisions and because disciplined performance governed by abstract rules and coordinated by the authority. Hierarchy fosters a rational and consistent pursuit of organizational goals. The organization conceived by Weber is therefore designated or achieve a rational orientation toward tasks which are conducive to efficient administration. That's why he believed bureaucracy to be the most efficient form of administrative organization in any in the modern state or in the modern society. Then conclusion, Max Weber stated that bureaucracy is most efficient, most rational. Bureaucracy, he stated that bureaucracy is most efficient, most rational. Just you think without bureaucracy we can't do anything. In the government, in the government, or you take in organization, whatever it may be, with the bureaucracy, with the help of bureaucracy, we can do all things. But without bureaucracy, we cannot do anything. That is, Weber stated that bureaucracy is the most efficient, most rational. Then superior to any other form. Superior to any other form. Then it is independent and permanent. Bureaucracy, it is a independent and permanent. In the legal and rational authority, it is an independent and as well as it is a permanent. Example, you take politicians are, they have some certain period, but the bureaucrats all have, they are permanent up to their retirement. So it is independent and as well as it is a permanent. Weber writings are more important in the bureaucracy. He wrote many papers on bureaucracy, social, economic and society also. And also he wrote many, he published many works, published many books. That's why his writings are more important in the bureaucracy. But he wrote in first he wrote in Germany, then after they are translated in the English, all his writings. is ideal type of bureaucracy has been and is the single most dominant conceptual framework in the study of administration. Is ideal type of bureaucracy, that is, it is nothing but legal and rational authority. His ideal type of bureaucracy has been and is the single most dominant conceptual framework in the study of bureaucracy. That's why he believed bureaucracy to be the most efficient form of administrative organization. Thank you. Download.